Have you ever wondered what ancient civilizations knew so about connecting with hidden forces that we've forgotten today? What if I told you there's a sacred text that's been around for thousands of years, quietly holding secrets or about seeing into the future, healing your body, and even talking directly to your ancestors? The Book of the Dead isn't what most people think it is. It's not some spooky horror story or collection of scary tales. This ancient Egyptian guidebook was actually designed to help living people access incredible abilities that seem almost supernatural by today's standards. People back then used these teachings to predict lottery numbers, sense the energy around other people, and receive guidance from family members who had passed on. And the crazy part is, these same techniques still work today. Today, we're going to dive deep into how this sacred book can completely change your life in ways you never imagined. We'll explore how ancient Egyptians used these practices to gain fame, wealth, and success that lasted for generations. I'll show you exactly how to use these time-tested methods to see what's coming in your future, read people's true intentions, and even heal physical problems using nothing but ancient words and rituals. By the end of this video, you'll understand why the Book of the Dead has been one of history's most carefully guarded secrets. Let's start with something that might blow your mind right away. The Book of the Dead was never actually called that by the ancient Egyptians. They called it the Book of Coming Forth by Day, which gives you a much better idea of what it was really about. This wasn't a book about death at all. It was a manual for living people who wanted to access higher levels of consciousness and spiritual power while they were still alive. Think of it like a user's guide for your soul. The ancient Egyptians believed that human beings had multiple layers of existence, and most of us only use a tiny fraction of our real capabilities. They developed these practices to help people tap into abilities that we'd call psychic today. The first major area where the Book of the Dead can change your life is in seeing the future. Ancient Egyptians had specific rituals for what they called opening the eye of Horus. This wasn't just some symbolic ceremony. They genuinely believed, and many practitioners today confirm, that these practices allow you to perceive events before they happen. People have used these techniques to see winning lottery numbers in dreams, predict which job interviews would be successful, and even avoid dangerous situations by sensing them ahead of time. The process starts with a simple meditation practice that the book describes in detail. You begin by sitting in complete darkness, preferably during the hours between midnight and 3 a.m. when the veil between worlds is thinnest. The ancient texts tell you to repeat specific phrases in Egyptian while visualizing a golden eye opening in the center of your forehead. After weeks of consistent practice, many people report that their dreams become incredibly vivid and often show them real events that happen days or weeks later. Sarah from Texas shared her experience with me last month. She'd been practicing these techniques for about 2 months when she had a dream about specific numbers appearing on a billboard. 3 days later, those exact numbers won the local lottery. She didn't win the jackpot because she only played a few dollars, but she won enough to pay off her credit card debt. Now let's talk about reading other people's energies. The Book of the Dead teaches something called seeing the Ka, which is basically the life force that surrounds every person. Ancient Egyptians believed that you could tell everything about someone's intentions, health, and even their future by learning to see this invisible energy field. Modern practitioners describe it as being able to sense people's true feelings, even when they're trying to hide them. You can tell if someone is lying, if they're attracted to you, or if they're planning something that might affect you. The technique involves training your eyes to see what the Egyptians called the light that surrounds the living. You start by practicing with people you know well, looking just slightly to the side of their head while they're talking. After some practice, many people begin to see faint colors or movements around other people's bodies. Different colors mean different things. Red often indicates anger or passion. Blue suggests calmness or sadness. And gold typically shows spiritual development or wisdom. One of the most practical applications is in business meetings or job interviews. Practitioners report being able to sense exactly what the other person is thinking and adjust their approach accordingly. Mark from California told me he landed his dream job after using these techniques during his interview process. He could sense when the interviewer was getting bored and would immediately change topics to something more interesting. He also knew exactly when to mention his salary expectations because he could feel the interviewer's energy shift toward being ready to make an offer. But the Book of the Dead goes even deeper than just reading people in the moment. It also teaches methods for receiving information through dreams that can guide major life decisions. The ancient practice called dream incubation involves asking specific questions before sleep and then receiving answers through symbolic dreams. People use this technique to find out which investments to make, whether to move to a new city, or even which person they should marry. The process requires preparation that starts several hours before bedtime. You write your question on a piece of paper using red ink, then place it under your pillow along with a small piece of gold or copper. The ancient texts specify that you should eat only fruits and vegetables that day and avoid talking to negative people. Before falling asleep, you repeat your question 7 times while holding an image of the Egyptian god Thoth in your mind. The answers don't always come immediately, but practitioners report that within a week, they usually receive dreams that clearly show them what they need to know. Sometimes the dreams are symbolic and require interpretation, but often they're surprisingly direct and literal. Now let's explore one of the most powerful aspects of the Book of the Dead, its healing abilities. Ancient Egyptians developed incredibly sophisticated methods for using words, sounds, and mental imagery to heal physical problems. They believed that illness was often caused by spiritual imbalances, and that correcting these imbalances would automatically heal the body. The book contains specific chants and visualizations for different types of health issues. For headaches, there's a practice involving visualizing golden light flowing through your head while repeating certain Egyptian phrases. For digestive problems, you're supposed to imagine blue healing energy filling your stomach area while chanting different words. The interesting thing is that these methods often work even if you don't fully understand why. Lisa from New York had been dealing with chronic back pain for years after a car accident. She tried physical therapy, pain medications, and even surgery, but nothing provided lasting relief. After learning about the Egyptian healing practices from the Book of the Dead, she started doing a daily visualization ritual. Every morning she would lie down and imagine golden healing light flowing into her spine while repeating ancient Egyptian healing chants. Within 6 weeks, her pain had decreased by about 80%. Her doctors couldn't explain the improvement, but Lisa knew it was connected to her daily practice with the ancient techniques. The spiritual alignment aspect of the Book of the Dead might be the most life-changing element of all. Ancient Egyptians believed that most people live their entire lives spiritually upside down, meaning they're not connected to their higher purpose or true spiritual nature. The book provides step-by-step instructions for what they called right standing, which is essentially aligning yourself with cosmic forces that can dramatically improve every area of your life. When you're spiritually aligned according to these ancient principles, opportunities start appearing everywhere. People become more attracted to you. Money flows more easily, and you develop an almost magnetic presence that draws positive experiences into your life. The alignment process involves daily practices that connect you with what the Egyptians called the eternal principles. These include gratitude rituals at sunrise, specific breathing exercises during the day, and meditation practices before sleep. But the most incredible aspect of the Book of the Dead might be its methods for communicating directly with ancestors. Ancient Egyptians didn't see death as the end of existence, but rather as a transition to a different state of being. They developed elaborate techniques for maintaining contact with family members who had died, believing that these ancestors could provide guidance, protection, and even help with practical matters like achieving fame and success. The communication process usually begins with creating a small shrine in your home dedicated to specific ancestors. This doesn't have to be elaborate, just a clean space with photos, personal items that belong to them, and offerings of food or flowers. The Book of the Dead provides specific prayers and rituals for inviting communication with these departed family members. Many practitioners report receiving messages through dreams, sudden intuitive insights, or even direct signs in their daily lives. The ancestors apparently take a special interest in helping their descendants achieve success and recognition. People have reported receiving guidance about career moves, business opportunities, and creative projects that led to significant fame and financial success. Jennifer from Los Angeles credits her ancestor communication practice with helping her become a successful actress. After months of struggling to get auditions, she started following the ancestral communication methods from the Book of the Dead. Within weeks, she began receiving what felt like guidance about which roles to pursue and which agents to contact. Her great-grandmother had been a performer in the early 1900s, and Jennifer felt like she was receiving direct career advice from beyond. 6 months later, she landed a recurring role on a popular TV series. The success principles in the Book of the Dead work because they connect you with forces and energies that most people never learn to access. Ancient Egyptians understood that individual success isn't just about personal effort. It's about aligning yourself with larger cosmic patterns and receiving support from multiple dimensions of existence. When you combine future-seeing abilities with energy reading skills, healing practices, spiritual alignment, and ancestral guidance, you create a powerful system that can transform your entire life trajectory. The Book of the Dead has been quietly changing lives for thousands of years. What we've covered today is just the beginning of what's possible when you start working with these ancient practices. The techniques I've shared aren't just theoretical concepts. They're practical methods that real people use every day to create better lives for themselves and their families. Whether you're looking to develop psychic abilities, improve your health, achieve greater success, or connect with departed loved ones, these ancient Egyptian practices provide a proven roadway to results. The beautiful thing about the Book of the Dead is that it meets you wherever you are spiritually. You don't need years of study or special qualifications to start benefiting from these teachings. If this video has sparked your curiosity about ancient wisdom and its practical applications, make sure to hit the like button so I know you want to see more content like this. Leave a comment below telling me which aspect of the Book of the Dead interests you most: the future-seeing techniques, the healing practices, or maybe the ancestral communication methods. And don't forget to subscribe and ring the notification bell so you never miss new videos about ancient secrets that can change your modern life. Your ancestors knew powerful truths that can still transform your world today. The only question is whether you're ready to start learning them.